starting to click to the mindset? Are you starting to understand what's going on over here? The condescending, self-righteous Christians. Oh wait, I thought they were going to heaven. I thought they were better than us. I thought they were better than me. Oh no, I'm going to hell. I'm a Luciferian Satanist. But wait, hold on. I grasp or try to grasp the concepts of spiritual science as opposed to natural science, i.e. read between the lines, empirical science, like what they teach you in high school. Or I'm like you and I go to Sunday school camp, church camp and all that shit. Kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya. I'm generating such feelings for Jesus as I kiss his ass. Oh Lord, kumbaya. I'm better than you because I'm a Christian and I kiss Jesus' ass and I'm better than you. Kumbaya, my Lord, I'm better than you as I lick Jesus' balls. Kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya. Oh, I'm an ass kisser, kumbaya, but I'm going to heaven and you're going to hell. Not. Go back to square one. Go to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. You stupid motherfucker. That's what you get for being weak, huh? That's what you get for being a weak-ass motherfucker, huh? Goddamn stupid idiot. Are you listening to this shit? This is the guy who knows how heaven and hell works. Knows all this shit about Jesus and the Elohim and all that stuff. Oh, you fucked up, didn't you? You self-righteous motherfucker, Bible-thumping piece of shit. Fuck you. Ooh, I'm going to heaven and you're not. I'm going to heaven and you're going to hell. Sorry about that. Wake the fuck up. Kumbaya, my Lord. Okay, let's see. They then experience something else entirely, which makes it a necessity to stress quite strongly that spiritual science must be pursued by humanity now and in the future, because it must be noted, those people who are unable to furnish themselves with any conceptions of life after death, in other words, the jackasses in Sunday school, through spiritual science, find themselves in a deplorable situation. I remember people I grew up with and stuff, oh, I can't wait to get there with Jesus as my Lord and Savior. I'm going to be in heaven. I'm going to be crying on Jesus' shoulder. It's like, wait, hold on. There's like 5 billion people on this planet, but yet you're so special, you're going to be, Jesus is going to be lavishing all this attention on you. Come on, man. Get off the fucking gas. Oh, you're closer to Jesus than I am. Oh, well, excuse me. Let me lick your balls, motherfucker. You'll fucking stick a goddamn cross up your ass, huh? Fucking stupid punk. Oh, God. Can't stand it. Spiritual science is equally something that one must seek to spread among other human beings out of heartfelt concern for the situation. It's wretched if people resist. We must, however, be absolutely clear. The spiritual world is present everywhere. Just think, the world in which the dead are with the dead, this supersensible world, the links the dead establish with the living whom they have left behind, the links the dead establish with the higher hierarchies. This is all part of the world that we are standing in now. In other words, yes, my father is here with me now, my dead father. Just as it is true that the air surrounds us, so it is true that the world always surrounds us. We are not separated from that world at all. We are only separated from the world we enter after death, through conditions of consciousness. It must be emphasized strongly, as even within our circles, not all our friends are fully aware. You think? What? Not all our friends are fully aware? Wow, why didn't you tell me sooner? Oh, I never could have figured that out. And the dead find the living again completely. We only remain separated while the one is here within the physical body and the other is without a physical body. However, all the powers that bring us together with the dead, through our detaching ourselves from them, first need to be acquired. Otherwise, the dead live in us and we cannot become aware of them. We must also carry over into the right sphere the power of love, which develops under naturalistic conceptions here. Otherwise, this power will become an evil force for us over there. It is love that develops under naturalistic conceptions, in particular, that could otherwise become an evil force. A power as such is neither good nor bad. It can be one or the other, depending on whether it is manifested in one or the other sphere. Just as we are connected with this supersensible world that the dead inhabit, so the supersensible world also projects in another way into the physical sense world. Indeed, the world is complicated, and an understanding of it is something that needs to be acquired slowly and gradually. But one must have the will to acquire this understanding. The will to power, baby. Oh, that's what I got. I got the will to motherfucking power. I got more willpower than you, huh? What's up? Yeah. Okay. But one must have the will to acquire this understanding. Yeah, that's what I've got. I've got the will to acquire this understanding. So you can just go to Sunday school and fucking sing Kumbaya. Huh? Stupid motherfucker. The spiritual world projects into our world. Everything is permeated by the spiritual world. Everywhere within the sense world, there is also a supersensible aspect. Human beings need to be especially interested in the particular supersensible aspect that relates to their own sensory nature. Now I ask you to consider the following very carefully. It is an exceedingly important conception. We human beings have body, soul, and spirit as the constituent members, but that by no means completes our being. Our body, our soul, and our spirit are in a sense what our consciousness is initially concerned with, but that is not everything that relates to our being. Not at all. What I am going to say now concerns certain secrets of human becoming, of human nature, which need to become known today and become ever more widely known in the future. Stay tuned. Hold on to the edge of your seat. It's getting good now. It's getting to the good part, isn't it? When the human being enters earthly existence through birth. Okay. This is the important part right here. This is the part that I want that you tuned in for right here. This is going to tell you about your constitution, what's really inside of you, what life is about, what it is, who you are. Who are you? Or what are you? Okay, I'm fixing to tell you, okay? This is from Rudolf Steiner, one of the most brilliant men that ever lived, and someone who's an empath and had insight, direct vision into supersensible worlds his entire life. I want you to listen to me right now. When the human being enters earthly existence through birth, he has a physical body, not only the possibility to give his own soul its existence, but I ask you to consider this well. The human being does not know everything about this physical body by any means, for there are all sorts of things going on in the physical body that the human knows nothing about. He only learns gradually and in a rather deficient manner through anatomy and physiology what goes on in his body. If we had to wait with feeding ourselves until we had understood the process of nutrition, we could not even claim that human beings would starve, for it is not even conceivable that one could know something about what the organs do in preparing nourishment for the organism. The human being thus arrives into this world with his organism in which he clothes himself without reaching down into this organism with his soul. There is, however, an opportunity shortly before we are born, not long at all before we are born, for another spiritual being in addition to our soul, to take ownership of our physical body, of the subconscious part of our body. It is just a fact that shortly before we are born, we are permeated by another being whom, in our current terminology, we would call an ahrimanic spiritual being. That's spelled ahrimanic, ahrimanic spiritual being. This being is as much within us as our own soul is within us. Such beings live their lives by using the human being in order to be present within the sphere in which they wish to be, They have an extraordinarily high level of intelligence and a very developed will, but nothing in the nature of a life of feeling. And in the German word feeling, Gemut, or G-E-M-U-T. Not what we would call a human life of feeling. And so it is indeed the case that we go through our lives with a soul. And this doppelganger, who is cleverer, far cleverer than we are. This being is highly intelligent, but possesses a Mephistophalean intelligence. An ahrimanic intelligence, as well as a very strong will. A will that is much closer to the forces of nature than our human will, which is tempered by our life of feeling. Feelings. In the 19th century, natural science discovered that the nervous system is permeated by electrical forces. And natural science was right about that. They were right about something. No, that's not. However, if science holds, or scientists believe, that our nerve forces, which belong to us and provide a basis for our life of thought, have anything to do with the electrical currents passing through our nerves, then they are mistaken. For the electrical currents that are the forces placed into our being by that other being whom I have just described and do not belong in our being at all. We do also carry electrical currents with us, but they are of a purely ahrimanic nature. These beings of high intelligence, but of purely Mephistophalean intelligence, and who possess a will that is closer to nature than what can be said of the human will, decided at a certain point, out of their own volition, that they did not want to live in the world to which they had been assigned by the wisdom-filled gods of the upper hierarchy. They wanted to conquer the earth, for which purpose they required bodies. As they do not have bodies of their own, they therefore use as much of the human body as they can, as the human soul is not able to fill the human body completely. Did you get that? The human soul is not able to fill the human body completely. So that leaves room for something else that was born in you, with you, whatever you would call it. It hitched a ride right before you were born. Are you catching this? Did you know that? You didn't know that, did you? Because of the way the human body develops, these beings are thus able to enter into the human body in a certain way at a particular time before the human being is born, and then accompany us below the threshold of our consciousness. Okay, I had to restart the camera there because I wanted to make sure you didn't miss any of this. This is the most earth-shattering information you will ever receive in your life. Let me say that again. This is the most earth-shattering information that you will ever receive in your whole life. Are you listening? Do you know? Are you hearing this? This is not somebody's idea of what is going on. This is the fucking truth. The truth that you were never told. Okay? So we're going to back up a little bit, and now I'm fixing to tell you what the deal is. Because of the way the human body develops, these beings are thus able to enter into the human body in a certain way at a particular time before the human being is born, and then accompany us below the threshold of our consciousness. There is only one thing in human life that they absolutely cannot endure. They cannot endure death. They must therefore always leave the human body in which they establish themselves before it succumbs to death. Time and again, this is a very bitter disappointment for them, as what they seek to appropriate for themselves is precisely the ability to remain in human bodies after death. That would constitute a great accomplishment in the realm of these beings, an accomplishment that they have not yet achieved as of yet. If the mystery of Golgotha had not occurred, and if the Christ had not gone through the mystery of Golgotha, it would long since have been the case on earth that these beings would have seized the opportunity to remain within the human being at the time when the death of the human being is karmically predetermined. Then they would have secured a complete victory over human evolution on earth and would have become the masters of human evolution on earth. It is of tremendously deep significance that we appreciate these connections between the Christ's passing through the mystery of Golgotha and these beings who wish to conquer death in human nature, but who at present are unable to endure that death. These beings must always be on their guard so that they avoid experiencing within the human body the hour of death predetermined by the human being, avoid maintaining his body after the hour of death, and extending the life of his body beyond the hour of death. What I am speaking about now has also long since been known to certain occult brotherhoods. What? You mean we didn't know this, but the secret societies knew this? And I'm even in a secret society, but they didn't tell me. What? I was being kept in the dark. What? They are very familiar. What I'm speaking about now has also long since been known to certain occult brotherhoods. They are very familiar with these things and have withheld them from humanity. Again, we will not examine with what justification. We're not trying to hear their excuses right now. Today, the situation is such that it is impossible not to gradually equip human beings with the concepts they need once they have passed through the portal of death. Everything the human being experiences here, including what he experiences below the threshold of consciousness, he needs again after death. That is because he has to look back on his life, which needs to be completely comprehensible to him in retrospect. It is the most awful thing for him if he is unable to do this. One lacks an adequate grasp of things to understand this life in retrospect if one is unable to shed light on a being that plays such a large part in our life as this Ahrimanic being. A being who seizes ownership of us before our birth and who is always there and will always prefigure us in our subconscious if we do not continuously shed light on this. For wisdom becomes light. I'm doing my part. I'm shining a light on it. This is the first time you've ever heard about this shit, I guarantee you, huh? Where did you hear it? You heard it from me. You heard it here. I'm making that sacrifice. I'm putting this information out there. No, I didn't come up with this. This is Steiner. But this is one of his more secretive books. And we're dropping the bomb right here with this information. Every man, woman, and child on the face of the earth is basically possessed with a demonic type of possession. But that's not enough. We can't all just be possessed by one demon, the Ahrimanic Doppleganger. We have to be possessed by two. Enter the Luciferic Doppelganger. Yeah, this shit gets better. Can you believe this shit? These beings are generally very important for human life, and knowledge of them must gradually be grasped by human beings and will be grasped by human beings. Only knowledge of them must be grasped by people in the right way. It must not just be spread within humanity by occult brotherhoods who turn it into a question of power, intending thereby to increase their own power. Above all, it must not be kept a secret any longer for the purpose of increasing the power of certain brotherhoods acting out of egotism. Humanity is striving for universal knowledge, and such knowledge must be allowed to spread. It can no longer be beneficial in future for occult brotherhoods to use such things in order to increase their own power. Knowledge of these beings must increasingly be grasped by human beings over the next few centuries. Human beings will have to become increasingly aware over the next few centuries that they bear within themselves such a doppelganger, such an Aramonic, Mephistophalean Doppleganger. Let me read that sentence again. Human beings will have to become increasingly aware over the next few centuries that they bear within themselves such a doppelganger, such an Aramonic, Mephistophalean Doppleganger. I've already accepted the truth. Have you? Can you? Do you have enough balls to look at the truth? Yeah. Do you have enough balls to look at the truth? This is the motherfucking truth right here. Forget Jesus and all that shit. I'm not saying that shit's not real, but Jesus don't need you. You're not closer to Jesus than I am. You stupid motherfucker. This is what's going on. All right? Wake the fuck up. Oh, fuck. Today, people have already acquired quite a number of concepts, but these are, in fact, blind concepts, as people do not yet really know what to make of them. I am saying that people are developing concepts today that can only be given a sound basis if they are brought together with the facts that underlie them. Okay, we're going to stop right there. I recommend you get a drink, get a beverage, take a quick refreshment, and this video that you just watched, rewind it all the way to the beginning and watch it again. Yeah. Thank you.